Hey everyone, we are the Networkers with our group members George, Nathan, and Johnny, and we created online tic-tac-toe for our final project. I'm sure most people are aware of the rules of tic-tac-toe, but basically it involves two players, one using the X marker and the other using the circle marker. The two players take turns marking spaces in a 3x3 grid, and the objective of the game is to have three of your marks lined up either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally to win. For our implementation, we've completed a fully functional game with network features in command line. We made use of sockets and threads, as well as including create, join, list, and exit game features. We also worked on moving our game concept to a Unity project and was also able to make a playable version with a Unity GUI.
Initially, we planned to implement the single-player game in Unity first, then we would integrate the NetCore game into Unity. However, as we are running out of time, we couldn't figure out the way to implement these features, so we decided to shift our focus on the NetCore game and the presentation. For the bonus features, we implemented LAN integration. If both players are in the same network, they can connect with each other without a host server. As a proof of work, we decided to finish and build the Unity part into a single player game where you can play the game on your computer via the internet.
Alright, okay, so here we are at the part everyone's waiting for. This is going to be the demo of the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play this for you guys. This is going to be a demo of the online multiplayer tic-tac-toe. Johnny and Nathan, who are in my team or slash group, couldn't join or be here for the demo. So I'm just doing it with my friend Pablo instead. So yeah. Right here on the top right is going to be the server instance. On here on the bottom right is going to be my instance of the game slash my client. And then over here on the bottom left is going to be Pablo's instance of the game. So go ahead and say hi, Pablo.
Hello.
Okay. Alright, so let's just get this started. So do you want to host or do you want to be a player?
I can host.
Okay, so you go ahead and host. Alright, so being a host and being a player is very important because host is the person who does the first move and player does the second move. So two hosts and two players can't play together, otherwise there's going to be conflict. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pick play, and then I'm going to pick player, and then I'm going to pick online. Right? So pretty much right here it asks you for wherever the server is being hosted. I picked CSS Lab 11 because that's the one I usually connect to. You can go ahead and connect, Pablo. So you can see that he's connected, and then he gets a list of all of the rooms available. So whichever room you want to pick, just go ahead. Okay, so right here on the server it says socket 4 is the host of room 0. So in this case 0 through 4 are rooms 1 through 5. So yeah, right here I'm gonna go ahead and do CSS. Say I do CSS lab.uw.edu, so it's not the correct one. It's gonna give me a bad server name because it wasn't able to properly connect. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do CSS lab 11 properly connect, and then you can see since he's already connected to room 1 and he's waiting for a player, right here in room 1 it shows me that the slot's open. There's only one slot open left, right? Because he's holding the other slot while the rest of the rooms have 2 slots open. So if you wanted to play with a friend, you'd want to pick the room slot that has 2 slots open, obviously. And we'll go ahead and click room 1, and then you can see that socket 5 is now the client of room 0. And then I'm going to go ahead and just wait for him to send in a move. Alright, so yeah, you can see he sent in the move. He picked room number 7. Number 7's filled in here. Any section that is eligible to be played is going to be numerical, and then the rest of the sections are going to be represented with an X or an O depending on who placed it. So say right here if I were to do 7, to try and override his thing, right? It would be a bad input. So it would ask me to fill it in again. I'm going to go ahead and pick one, waiting for the user, and then it sends it over to his side, and you can see everything going on over there. So then I'm going to go ahead and pick 5. It looks like I lost. So I'd block him with an 8, but then he goes and wins with the right side. So you can see opponent wins, closing connection, and then on his end you can see you win, and then it prompts him to play again. On the server side, you can see client 0 disconnected from game, and then host of 0 disconnected from the game. That's just to show that they've disconnected because one of the people won, right? So if we go ahead and play again, and then let's see here. I'll do player online CSS lab 11.uw.edu. Alright, you can see all of the slots open right here. And then we go ahead and pick room 1 again, right? Okay. So go ahead and pick room 1. Let me here open up another instance to show you guys. So go ahead and start another instance. And then say I wanted to play, like this is another set of people wanting to play with their friends, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and play host online, and then join in. You can see that because both of us are currently occupying room 1, the room doesn't display here. It says rooms 2 through 5 with all of the slots open, obviously, right? So yeah, pretty much. If a room is completely filled in, it will not display as eligible to join. So this person can only join any of the rooms open here. So if you wanted to play with friends, you'd obviously want to look for the open room with 2 slots open, and then make sure that one of you is a client and one of you is a host, right? And then here, say in this case, for some reason my network drops or I rage quit, right? And I just chose to leave the game and just close this out. It shows here that the host of room 0 disconnected. I don't know why, but for some reason it always says host. I believe I didn't change the print statements, so that should be client. And then as you can see, if he goes ahead and fills in one of his options and sends in the thing, it says opponent has quit, closing game, and then it prompts him to go ahead and play another game, right? So client of room 0 disconnected. So yeah, both of these flipped. I believe I put the print statements flipped, so I'm gonna go ahead and change those later. But yeah, at the core, that is all the functionality we have. So we take care of opponent disconnects, we take care of specific rooms, we take care of having multiple rooms available, we display what spots are open, how many spots are open, etc. And yeah, so that's pretty much all the functionality we have for our multiplayer game. Alright, okay, so now that the demo is done, I'm just going to go over pretty much the instructions on how to run it so that you guys can run it yourselves. So pretty much for the client-side compilation, you're going to need MS-build or csc.exe installed and then added to your environment table. There's a link right here as to how to do that. You're going to want to open cmd and then change directory to the location of where you unzipped the folder to, and then you're just going to want to compile main.cs and client.cs by using -csc main.cs space client.cs, and then that creates the executable, right? Now for the server, you're going to want to connect through the UW F5 VPN. Then you're going to want to upload the file to whatever directory you want, and then change directory to that directory, and then type in this command right here, g++-lpthread-server.cpp -o server. So this will create a file called server, and then you're just going to want to type in ./server, which will begin the server. You're going to want to take note of the server you're running on. So if it's lab 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, just keep track of which one you're on, because that's going to be necessary to play the game. For running the game, pretty much you're just going to want to launch the exe that you generated that we talked about in slide 8. And then you're going to be able to just play the game. If you want to play LAN, if you want to play online, just follow the orders. When you play online, make sure that you type in the correct lab that you are hosting the server on. Then you're going to want to pick a room to play with your friends. And then obviously pick like an empty room so that you guys can play together and you don't end up playing with each other. And then if you want to play the Unity version, the offline play like in-person version, then there's a link right here to download. All right, thank you.